My name's Kathe Kirby and I'm from the Asia Education Foundation in Australia. But I'm here in Beijing at the moment for the Global Education Leaders Program, bringing together leading educators from across the globe to talk about what our students need in the 21st century. And I've got with me today Professor Dr Okwha from South Korea. She's a professor of education at Chunbuk National University, and her specialty is in the use of information and communication technologies in schools. But importantly, she's also a member of the Korean President's Commission for 2030, looking for a vision for Korea in 2030. And she's also the founding director of the Global Education Foundation in Korea. So, Okwha, I wonder if we could start by you outlining what are the key issues for Korean education by 2030?
So we have a big vision for the education, which is learning society. We want to provide a learning society which is everybody has the right to get educated, to develop their own potential as a human being, as a citizen, so they can have a happy life and they can have the support from the trustee society. So that's the goal. Learning society is what we had been working on.
And one of the initiatives that you have developed in the last 2 years is the Global Education Foundation. Can you tell us a little bit about the Global Education Foundation and what it aims to achieve?
We gathered some people who were interested in global education and created curriculum, contents, and also pedagogy and promotional activities. So we could form 6 elementary schools, primary schools from Seoul area that followed our curriculum. So in 2009, we practiced global education in primary schools in Seoul. Then we quickly realized that providing such contents is quite limited. It was very needed to train, educate teachers. So the teacher training or professional development, that was the second thing we did. We invited some teachers interested in this movement and provided theoretical backgrounds and actual storytelling and experiences. And then thirdly, the teachers who are already established do not have big capacity, big room to adopt new ideas. So if we can provide this idea to a young generation, pre-service teachers, I thought that can be more efficient. So we try to find a fund to provide this opportunity, global education concept, to pre-service students. So we got that grant from the ministry, and hopefully we can do this exchange program with European partners from next fall. So we have layers of activities for global education through Global Education Foundation. We have partner schools in Australia and schools in Korea. They students exchange ideas and they conduct instructional activities through ICT with the partner students in Australia, which is called Bridge Program. And that was arranged through AEF, Asia Education Foundation in Melbourne.
Okwha, just tell us a little bit about what you mean by global education. We've heard the strategies and the way that you're wanting to change education that's occurring in Korean schools, but what do you mean by global education and what do you want to achieve by it?
Global education to us traditionally has a meaning for sending students abroad, and we have a long history. Even from Silla dynasty, which is about 1700 years ago, we sent our students to China And that tradition, sending our students to China, has been kept for many, many years. And that tradition was kept until quite recently. One way sending students abroad has been a concept of global education in Korea. But now, recently, we discovered and we learned that sending students abroad is not necessarily the only way that we share and learn our ideas from other countries. Sending students abroad was very costly. And it's only the benefit of sending students is only limited to a certain people, the ones who went abroad. But if we welcome students from other countries, so it's a mutual exchange program, if we can have that, it can be much more beneficial. And we do not have the system or support ideas for that for a long time. But now this is the time to have a mutual exchange program.
Why is it important to have that two-way exchange now in the 21st century? What do you hope to achieve for Korean students through doing that?
Now Korean society is experiencing multicultural society. We never had this opportunity before. But now, since we have students next to you from other countries, and that phenomena is becoming more and more common, so students need to understand the different culture, and they need to learn how to communicate with those people. So communication skills and understanding the differences, this is not inferior, superior thing. This is only just understanding the difference. That can be the basis for the skills for 21st century. And I think understanding different culture and communicating efficiently, that's very essential skill for the students in the 21st century.
Well, I really like the fact that you made that point, because often when people talk about communication, they start with technologies and they say, we've got the technologies now for our people to communicate. But they forget that our people actually need other skills and other knowledge and other understandings to communicate with each other. And they're the sorts of things that you're aiming to achieve through the Global Understanding Program. But I am interested in the technology side. And as the most wired country in the world, Korea really knows something about using technologies. What are the children actually doing using the computers in their classrooms? Korean children in Korea, Australian children in Australia. What are they actually doing online?
Students, they develop problem. So this is a project-based learning. They go out and collect data and process the data and develop their own knowledge out of that data. So they do understand what it means by processing the data. And then they exchange that idea, and idea exchanging can be done much more easily through technology. Of course, processing data is also supported by technology. So here, technology is a real means to support how we process, how we think better, how we make a conclusion collaboratively.
So in our conversation today, we've actually talked about a whole range of 21st century skills. We've talked about collaboration, communication, intercultural understanding, exchange, sharing, global networks. And that's really where we are at this point in time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kathe.